Agnirmurdha chakshushi chandra suryo disha shrotre vagvivritascha vedaha vayu prano hrudayam vishvamasya padbhyam prithvi kesha sarva bhutantaratma Agnirmurdha chakshushi chandra suryo disha shrotre vagvivritascha vedaha vayu prano hridayam vishvamasya padbhyam prithvi yesha sarva bhutantaratma. A very typical, you read the same in fact, the 15th chapter. No, the 15th, Vishwarupa Darshan in the chapter 10,
10th chapter, Guruji.
10th chapter is not Vishwarupa Darshan, Vibhuti Yoga. I think it's the Vishwarupa Darshan in the chapter, 11th chapter, if I'm not wrong. 11th chapter is the Vishwarupa Darshan. So the message here, he's talking of the macrocosm. So it is in line to the 15th chapter of the Gita. So here he says, the heaven is his head, the sun and the moon are his eyes, the direction are his ears, and the uttered Vedas are his speech, air his prana, universe is his heart, earth his feet. He indeed is the inner self within all beings. Yesha sarva bhutantaratma. He indeed is the inner self. So clearly this mantra is talking of the macrocosm. So the highest point, the heaven, is the head. The lowest point, the earth, is his feet. The two sources of light, which is direct and indirect, the sun and the moon, are his eyes. The direction are his ears. The four quarters of space. The revealed Vedas means the total speech, provided your speech makes some sense. So when many times we speak, it doesn't make sense to us only, forget others. So the words which make sound or sounds with the meaning is a knowledge which refers to the revealed Vedas, the total speech. The air is his breath. You just have to maximize it. Macrocosmic, you got to visualize it. What is one eye is the sun, one eye is the moon, the head is the heaven, the feet is the earth. You're just expanding it, you're just pulling every concept in each different angle just to accommodate the world as well. The universe is his heart, earth his feet. He indeed is the inner self within all beings. So again, he's saying the macrocosm is the microcosm. So what is the relationship between the individual and the world? What is the relationship between the microcosm and the macrocosm? The best way to understand the relationship between the micro and the macro is the relationship between the dreamer and the dream world. If you understand the relationship between the dreamer and the dream world, you will understand the relationship between the micro and the macro. If you don't understand the relationship between the dream and the dream world, you will not understand the relationship between the micro and macro. Vasantama, can you explain the relationship between the dreamer and the dream world? Very easy question to you.
It is perishable. It's a Maya.
What is Maya?
It doesn't exist. It is an ignorance which causes it. Maya.
From what standpoint are we talking?
From the macro.
See, we are saying the dreamer is the micro, the dreamer's world is the macro. It's a comparison, isn't it? If you understand the relationship between the dreamer and the dream world, you will understand your relationship as a micro, who is Vasanta, to the macro, that's the world around you. What's the relationship between you and the world?
The self exists in all.
That's why I said you can't answer this. You have to answer the relationship between the dreamer and the dream world. What is the relationship there? Okay. Is there a difference between the dream and the dream world?
No.
Dreamer and the dream world? Is there a difference between the dreamer and the dream world?
It's not real.
No, don't talk from a Veka standpoint. It is easy to talk from a Veka standpoint. And then you say, oh, the dream is illusion. Therefore, the waking world also illusion. Therefore, you are illusion, I am illusion. Chapter close. No further discussion. We can't talk from that standpoint. I'm talking the relationship between dreamer and the dream world. You must talk from the standpoint of the dreamer. Like when I ask you, what is relationship between the micro and macro, would you say illusion? Do you say your world illusion? Would you say your illusion? We wouldn't say so, isn't it? So how can you use that language when we ask about the dream? So the dream and the dream, that's the dreamer and the dream world. What's the relationship? Is there a difference between the two? There is no difference. Both are one and the same. Isn't it? Don't you see a difference? Do you see a difference there?
No.
No difference. But then what is the relationship between the dreamer and the dream world? Both of them are nothing but a figment of the waker's mind. It's the waker's mind that's projecting the dreamer and the dream world, isn't it? It is not that the waker's mind projects the dreamer first and then the dream world next. Does it happen like that? Huh?
No.
It doesn't happen, no? So when you are born, the world that you have created in the dream also is born along with you at the same time, isn't it? The same thing happens when it dissolves also. When the dream dissolves, does it happen that all your dream family disappears first and then the dreamers die? No. The dreamer and all the dream world both disappear at the same time, isn't it? Both appear at the same time, both disappear at the same time. So the waker's mind is the supporter of all. It supports it. So if you understand that the waker's mind projects the dreamer and the dream world, The waker's mind is the substratum, is the supporter, and the substance of the dreamer and the dream world. The waker's mind is the substratum, the supporter, and the substance. 3S. The substratum, the supporter, and the substance of the dreamer and the dream world is the waker's mind. Similarly, Gayatri Ma, similarly,
Brahman is the substratum of all the waker, dreamer, and the deep sleep.
Ayoyo, why are you bringing dreamer and deep sleeper?
Means substratum of everything.
No, when you compare, we are saying comparison between the micro and the macro. We're not talking about the waking, dream, deep sleep here.
So
What's the relationship between micro, which is Gayatri, and the macro, the world around you? What's the relationship?
it is the Brahman substratum. Everything is like it's one, nothing second.
Just like the dreamer and the dream world has emerged at the same time, the micro and the macro have come out of the same, at the same time they've come up. There's no difference between the micro and the macro, right? What supports the micro and the macro is Brahman, as you say. So Brahman is a substratum, Brahman is a supporter, Brahman is a substance of the micro and the macro. Just like the waker's mind. Remove the waker's mind, there is no dream. Similarly, remove Brahman, there is no micro or the macro. That's what he says. He indeed is the inner self, which is the all beings. So the micro, which is inside, is the macro, which is Sarva Bhuta Antaratma. So Sarva Bhuta is everywhere. Antaratma is inward. So what is in is there everywhere. And that's the relationship between the micro and the macro. That's the relationship between the Brahman and the world, just like the relationship between the waker's mind and the dreamer and the dream world. I don't know whether you all feel, I'm feeling a little giddy. Arunama, you also feeling giddy?
Trying to grasp everything, Guruji, just thinking about it. But it's clear, got the concept. Thank you. We will leave it at this, and we'll come back